definition. You see the definition here. It says ad hominem fallacy, attacking to the opponent's character in persons or personal traits in an attempt to undermine their argument and deliberately deliver the attention. You see, definition. You can say he says an act of attacking. Definition. This is the definition. Huh? Act of attacking to the personal. Make it personal. If you say me something, I attack your character. Huh? If you are a womanizer, if you are a heavy drinker, last night if you go to the nightclub, I attacked you. You have been into the club last night. I see. Now you are talking like a good man, but you are in the nightclub. After 5 o'clock, you're completely a different character. What kind of a man you are? Attacking to the person character. It is very dangerous. Most of the third world countries, like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, like this, our countries, people doing this, right? And also an act of attacking the character of personal traits of an opponent rather than addressing the substance of this argument. The tactic is used to undermine the opponent without engaging with the actual issue of in hand. Actual issue is something else, but he's attacking to me. Same as like Ali Zahrani what he's doing, right? It is diversionary tactic that can be misleading. He's misleading us, It should be everything should be diversion. Example: reporter says, now you are the politician, I'm the reporter, right? I'm asking you, we found there these facts related to your political campaign. Care to respond, right? He says, politician says, for example, Nawaz Sharif, he says, oh, everything is in the media is a fake news. Since reporters work for the money only, it can be since the reporters are working for the money only, but there are some things that you have to understand. Very, very important things.
This example is true.
Huh?
This example is true.
True. No. The reporters are working for the money, that's also, but to point to defend himself, he used this theory, this fallacy, strawman fallacy.
Strawman and Stillman.
Yeah, Stillman. How do you identify the strawman argument? There are common characteristics when it comes to the identifying a strawman argument. Here's a brief overview. Now, what is the brief overview? Says, right? Understand the original argument. Understand it. But most of the times, when the politicians are doing like this, people don't understand. A politician don't understand, right? Understand the original argument. Click the oversimplification. Check the oversimplification. What is the oversimplification? He has to try to do that. What is oversimplification? You have to check first, and look for exaggeration. Exaggeration you have to fix it, and you have to check properly, right? And value emotional appeals, right? Evaluate emotional appeals from the audience and from the people, right? And seek clarification. Seek the clarification. If you know the seeking, how to seeking the clarification, how to evaluate the emotional appeals, and also look for exaggeration. These kind of things, if you know, it is a pretty good example and pretty good way actually how do you identify the strawman argument, right? That is very important things. And also, I would like to share with you this thing. Secondly, wait. Okay, what is the difference between the strawman and the steelman, right? Right? The strawman argument discredit the opponent's argument by attacking a weaker version of it, not the, rather than engaging with the actual argument. This is a very
Like
sad.
politics man.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Steel man is like you.
the stillman argument, however, the aims to promote a more productive and honest discussion by engaging with the honest form of opposing argument. Uh,
With evidence.
yeah, with evidence, right? That's what it should be. And thirdly, what are the example of the strawman fallacy? I will tell you. The strawman fallacies can occur in discussions on nearly every topic, including evolutionary theory. For example, some people oversimplifying and misrepresent the theory by describing as all random chance, they say, and focusing only for one prospect and one aspect and ignoring the complexity and the scientific evidence. So this is when it comes to the religion, when it comes to the culture, when it comes to especially for the political scenario, geopolitics, how they are chalky, very important, right? And number four, right? You know already. I told you about what is a strawman fallacy. Strawman fallacy is attempting and misrepresent the opponent's argument with the argument to make it easier to criticize, and represents an unfair and dis deceptive debating tactic. It's not a good thing, actually. In other words, ultimately irrelevant arguments is being introduced in the discussion to sway a discussion in one's favor, to misrepresent another person's position, right? So this is how it goes, actually. So that is number four. And the last is that strawman argument is always wrong. Yes, it says yes. The strawman argument is typically considered wrong because it involves misrepresenting an opposing position to put one's own argument in its strongest form to make it easier to attack, right? So, and also it is considered intellectually dishonest and counterproductive in fair debates. So it does not address the strongest argument but only disordered version of it. Very dangerous, huh? Very, very dangerous. The way they have made it. And for example, if I ask you, appeal to ignorance fallacy. You see the structure of appeal, the definition. An appeal to an ignorance fallacy will state that something cannot be uh, conductivity proven, then the opposite must be true. For example, definition, we say the appeal to ignorance fallacy. Say this structure is appeal to ignorance argument. It will take something to like this. X is false because it can be proven that it is true, or X is true because it cannot be proven that it's false. The most common example of the appeal ignorance fallacy is that the religious argument, the theist. Because we cannot prove that the God does not exist, then God must exist. Or similarly, the atheist, theist and atheist. Because we cannot prove that God does exist, then God must not exist. Right? This ignorance fallacy. Ignorance fallacy. So, there are fallacies. So strawman fallacy, like Iron Man fallacy. We will talk about another day about the Iron Man fallacy, right? So these are the things. Bye bye.